Hey everybody. I look at a lot of politics online, and a lot of the Republicans have been saying, well, how do we? What's our message going forward? And the Democrats are getting stronger and they're starting to do better as far as some of these elections that have been taking place with states like New Jersey and Virginia and stuff like that. And the thing I would say is Republicans have to get back to being America first. And what I mean by that is instead of worrying about all of these other foreign countries and spending money on war in Ukraine and helping this country and being a part of this and doing that and sending aid to Africa, America needs to stop sending all of this aid. In my opinion, maybe not send any aid for a few years and focus on American citizens. Look at places like California where you have a homeless crisis, where you have folks that are sleeping on the streets. And what's crazy to me is all these liberals that say all this bad stuff about Donald Trump are the same people that pass these folks in a Ferrari, maybe going to work or going to the movies on Saturday. And we're having these problems because we're so focused on all these other countries. Like, we'll give all this aid money to Africa, but then at the same time, we have folks here that need food. We have folks here that need clothing and shelter. And so we have to, it's not a thing about being cold or heartless, but we have to get back to helping the people that actually live in America. And when we do that, that's one way to stimulate the economy, because folks will have services, American businesses can provide those services, and that's how, you can create a good ecosystem and fix the problems that are happening in America. But a lot of the times, we'll sit up as a country and say, well, we've got to sit up and fund a war in Ukraine. That war in Ukraine, from what I'm seeing, the people in Ukraine, they're not even winning this war. The soldiers aren't winning this war. People don't want to be honest about it, but it's a back and forth, and it's a big money pit. It's almost like Americans should take that money and put it, set it on fire or something, because it's going over there, and they just had somebody, I think, who's working with Zelensky step down because of corruption. They're taking American money, and a lot of times they're buying fancy stuff. They're doing all sorts of things with that money. We don't even know, or we're not really even tracking that money. And so, just to continue to send money overseas on all these different countries and waste money on these wars and stuff like that, when we should be having a war on poverty here. I'm looking at some of the stats in, when you have folks that can't afford food, when you have folks that have to, can't afford their heating bills and utilities and all this other stuff, but politicians can sit up and, throw a party somewhere where champagne is flowing and folks are, eating food and having fun, when veterans and stuff, are sitting up and, can't even find a job. Like, to me, it's backward. It's backward that we have folks that are veterans and teachers and people in society that are struggling like this in 2025. And so I think once we get politicians that say, we're going to focus on America, we're going to make America our priority, then things will get better. And right now, that movement is slowly happening. People are seeing their paychecks and they're like, we need to focus on American citizens. And so it's slowly happening. Marjorie Taylor Greene is part of that movement. You have a lot of podcasters that are part of that movement. And so it's something that's slowly happening. I saw something on YouTube with Pat Buchanan. Pat Buchanan, I think that's his name, but he's been talking about this stuff forever. I think since like 1992, about being America first. And so, finally, it's something Americans are actually taking seriously. Because if we don't, our country is going to basically, it's going to be a bad situation for our country. We have so many problems here. We have a lot of problems with debt. We have a lot of problems with, our military, with homeless people on the streets. It's like, we got to do something. And I think once politicians address, or especially Republicans, once Republicans address these issues, then it'll put Republicans in a very strong position in any election cycle. But if Republicans are going to sit up and ignore it, then they're going to open up the door for Democrats to do very well in future elections. And so that's my, I know I might be rambling, but that's how I feel. I think Republicans need to get back to being America first, focus on America, focus on Americans being able to afford gas, heating, their light bills, insurance. If the Republicans focus on that, then Republicans in the future will be unstoppable. If not, then you'll see many Democrats win a bunch of elections in the future.